The small American town of Snowhollow came alive at Christmas. Streets were adorned with garlands, shop windows displayed miniature Christmas villages, and an enormous tree sparkled with lights in the central square. Snow blanketed the ground, creating an illusion of warmth and safety. But as you would soon learn, this night was far from ordinary. You and your friends, Alex, Mia, and Jake, decided to gather at your house for a cozy evening of board games and hot chocolate. None of you suspected that something sinister had been watching your home for days. The start of the night. Your parents had gone to visit relatives in a neighboring town, leaving you alone to enjoy the festive atmosphere. Alex brought the board game Arkham Horror, Jake brought a bag full of marshmallows, and Mia convinced everyone to share scary stories to get into the holiday spirit. Sitting by the fireplace, you traded creepy tales when the lights in the house flickered. Probably the snow, Jake said dismissively, but something about it made you uneasy. Mia peeked out the window to check for a snowstorm and suddenly recoiled. "Someone's out there," she whispered. You all rushed to the window. In the distance, at the edge of the woods, stood a tall, dark figure. It was unnervingly still, too still to be a person. The moonlight revealed only its vague outline, but its eyes. They couldn't be seen, yet you all felt their piercing gaze upon you. "Probably just a snowman," Alex muttered uncertainly as he pulled the curtains closed. First contact. A couple of hours later, the tension began to ease. The game had distracted you, and you almost forgot about the strange figure. Then came the knock. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but persistent enough to send chills down your spine. "Maybe it's just the wind," Jake suggested, but no one dared to check. The knock came again, louder this time. Alex, holding a flashlight, approached the window, but when he looked outside, he saw nothing, except for strange tracks in the snow. They were enormous, inhuman, and led directly into the forest. "We need to call for help," Mia said, reaching for her phone. But none of you had a signal. That's when a door somewhere in the house slammed shut. The monster hunts. You realized you weren't alone anymore. Something or someone had entered the house. Heavy footsteps echoed from upstairs, but how had it gotten inside? The front door was locked and the windows were intact. You decided to hide. Splitting up, you and Mia squeezed into the closet under the stairs, while Alex and Jake headed for the kitchen. In the silence, you could hear only your ragged breaths and the crunch of snow outside the house. Suddenly, a loud thud echoed through the house, as though something massive had leapt from the staircase. Footsteps approached the closet. You gripped Mia's hand tightly as something scratched at the door. Your heartbeat was so loud, it felt like it might give you away. Then, just as suddenly as it started, the scratching stopped. The confrontation. You crept out of the closet and saw Alex and Jake struggling to barricade the kitchen door. Something massive was trying to force its way in. The creature was covered in filthy, matted fur, with long clawed limbs and a head resembling a deer's skull. But its hollow black eye sockets were the stuff of nightmares. "It's a Wendigo," Mia cried, remembering an old legend. The creature burst through and chaos erupted. Jake grabbed a knife, Alex wielded a heavy cast-iron pan, and you found a single hunting rifle shell your father had left behind. The gunshot was deafening. The creature howled but didn't retreat. It charged at you with feral rage, smashing furniture in its wake. The ending. The night was suddenly pierced by the beams of headlights. On the porch stood your neighbor, Mr. Henderson, holding a shotgun. He fired, and the monster let out a deafening wail before retreating into the darkness of the woods. By morning, all that remained were claw marks on the walls and grotesque footprints in the snow. Mr. Henderson explained that such creatures occasionally wandered south from the forests, drawn by those who disturbed something ancient. Your Christmas would never be the same again.